Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So I've come up to the shop before I started work today, as I need to get fuel and I need to repair my vehicle. So while I'd like to not spend money, because I'm trying to get things for the harvester, $156 dollars on the fuel. And then we'll see what the repairs look like. I'm thinking those will be more. Alright, it's $2,000. 16 for the fertilizer spreader. I'm not too worried about the other parts right now. So that's definitely a bit of a hit to my progress. You know, basically $2,200, $2,500 if we're kind of being conservative with it. But kind of needs to be done, I think. I'm thinking, wow, even though I've repaired the tractor, those forks show the repair of the or the front loader shows the repair is pretty significant, but I just want to not spend more than I need to at this point. I need the tractor and the fertilizer, but I don't necessarily need anything, you know, I don't need the front loader. I'm not actually using that. I can probably actually go drop that off at this point. Maybe I'll do that just to quit avoiding, or to avoid the confusion that it creates. But we're trying to get the second layer of fertilization down. And of course, the challenge is being able to tell where we've been, which will be a little more difficult as I work on the field. But, you know, the nice thing is, with a tractor that's up to snuff and been maintained, it should be able to go pretty quickly. So I did verify with the shop when I took a look. 47,500 is what we need. Canola takes a while to grow, so we're going to have 6 months of growth. So we need basically $500 a day, I think. Right? Am I figuring that right? No. Or yeah. Well, no, that would be to make up what I spent, but to do so, we need 1,000, like 1,200 a day at this point. I'm just not sure that we're going to obtain quite that, so I may have to do another job, cut down another tree or something to get the remainder. But yeah, the goal is to do this as quickly as we can. So I have disconnected the front loader, left it there in the weeds. Seems like a good place for it. And you can see my repair looks way, way better now. Now the other piece is, I think I can get about 8,000 for the harvester. So I should be okay. Interesting direction there, but so I do keep forgetting that I will be able to sell the harvester. So yeah, we'll be fine unless we have some unexpected issue, which is good because I'm just going to go ahead and fertilize the field, and then we'll be back here. Whoops. for harvesting. Sorry, I am just spewing fertilizer everywhere. So let me get this work done. Not much to see here except dust. So I'll get that done, save you some time, and you can join up with me when we've got the excitement to come. Alright, 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm done. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the canola. I don't want to spend any money to do anything else, so there are other things I could do, but I can't go through another harvest with that Ford. So I'm going to sit here with my paper towels and clean my tent maybe a little bit and think about life and maybe start thinking about what's going to happen on the farm and what our next target will be. So I'll see you in a bit. So I have been working or resting away. I've just been whiling away the hours, hanging in my hammock, enjoying the months as I've watched my canola grow, kept myself on a little staycation, I guess. Just waiting. You can see strawberry sales have been doing well. We have got one more day. Tomorrow, we're going to be able to harvest that canola. So here we go. January. And the canola, while frozen a bit, is ready to harvest. This is an exciting, exciting day. We have enough even without selling the harvester. Alright, so I had gotten up early today and driven this up here. Parked it over. It was interesting. I couldn't actually even attempt to repair it. The repair shop didn't recognize it, so if you use that harvester, just be aware. It doesn't seem to be picked up by the workshop trigger. Let's go ahead and sell that thing off. Oh goodness, as I went in here, I haven't really been checking the sale items very much. This is the fertilizer spreader I'd like to replace ourselves with. I don't think we're going to have enough, but maybe. I wonder if it'll stick around on sale. It probably won't. Goodness. Because yeah, you can see really nice spreading width. That would make life so much easier. That's as I've been sitting around thinking, after harvesting, what job is next? That seems to take a long time, and that would be fertilizing with that really tiny fertilizer spreader we have. Alright, 7,595, 1,258. Alright, so $8,853. Alright, so the harvester I'm looking at here is this Dominator 106 class. It's 205 horse, 7,500 liters. So almost 3 times the power. This has got to be better. And it's certainly, gotta love the price, more than 10% lower than its more modern cousin. So can't really do anything to customize it other than GPS. Maybe one of these days, but right now we'll just get this. And then this was the header that the shop has with it. Not quite double the working width. We had about 3 meters before. But once again, even if I can go up to speed, I'll be going 3 times the speed, and I'll be doing it with greater working width. Oh, I really want to buy this. I want to buy it enough to cut some trees. I could just sell the crop. I'll probably get enough from that. Ho ho! Remember how the other one started up? Listen to that hum. Oops. It's hanging over a little bit. Didn't do a great job in unloading it. I don't know why people walk through here, but you would think with the workshop trigger, maybe there'd be less of that going on. But yeah, so I guess we'll take a chance and we'll see if we can harvest and get, let me back off a bit so you can hear me. If we can harvest, now I need to get in here, but this is still something with a muffler. Amazing how much quieter it can be inside the cab here. Although, wow, that downhill it's not liking, but I think it might be pressing the gears a bit as far as the speed. Whoops. I don't think I noticed that there, although I see it now. It's like, oh, I'll turn because there's trees everywhere. Oh goodness. It's the one challenge with a slightly bigger harvester is it's a little bit more of a slalom getting back to the farm. But let me get there, and then we'll see what this bad boy can do. There is our canola field. Alright, so the sound for the harvester is really, really loud when it's working. It doesn't look like we need to unfold this one at all. But I'm not really going to be able to talk much, or, well, maybe I will. I certainly want to chat as we go through this, but let's get harvesting and then see if we can get that spreader, because that would be really, really wonderful. I just don't know that we're going to get enough money. Well, it's a little better once it's actually harvesting, but it's not great. But yeah, the fact that I can go 6 miles an hour instead of 2, oh, this is priceless. So, you know, again, not a perfect harvester, a little bit of a problem, a little noisy. Still got to use my earplugs to avoid going deaf here, but I just don't even know. I mean, short of just going back and watching one of our old videos and seeing how this really worked, I don't know how else to suggest seeing what the difference is. And then again, I think we have over double the capacity, because I think we could do like 3,100 in the other one. But yeah, we're getting up there pretty quickly. Just a question of, are we going to hit 14,000 between the strawberries working away and whether we're going to go ahead and you know, be able to do things with a canola. So I'm not going to try to talk over the harvester. It's pretty loud, but I'm going to go ahead and get myself a full load, and we'll take that to, or, you know, either a full load or harvest the whole field, whichever comes first. I think it's going to be a full load, but, and then we'll go sell the canola and we'll see, because that would be a glorious, glorious start to the new year here in January. If not only can I get a brand new harvester, but I could get a better fertilizer spreader. And again, I can sell the old spreader. I just don't want to do that in case I don't have enough money, because I think I can get about 1,400 for the old spreader. Alright, we're over 10,000 now that some strawberries have been sold. So, doing pretty well, but I'll see you when I'm full. Alright, so I'm not quite full. I have about 7,340 40 liters or so instead of 7,500, but I'm going to go ahead and get myself a full load. And then we'll go sell the canola and we'll see, because that would be a glorious, glorious start to the new year here in January. If not only can I get a better fertilizer spreader, and again, I can sell the old spreader. I just don't want to do that in case I don't have enough money, because I think I can get about 1,400 for the old spreader. Alright, we're over 10,000 now that some strawberries have been sold. So, doing pretty well, but I'll see you when I'm full. Alright, so I'm not quite full. I have about 7,340 liters or so instead of 7,500, but At the point where if I go the other way, I'm kind of got the pipe in, and this will just give me a good idea what things look like. So, and I honestly don't think, I'm trying to remember, I think this trailer nearly filled up when the harvester was full, so I may need to run a couple loads here. But yeah, that harvester is loud. Probably going to hear it when we come up to it. Yep, there you go. You get out next to it, it's even crazier. Well, let's see what we get here. Either way, it's definitely going to be more than the harvester. Yeah, 3,150. Okay. Alright, let's get away from the harvester. So, we need about 14,000. Now we're going to have a little bit more from the strawberries. It'll probably just be a few hundred. But in about 8 minutes. So, every hour they come by, you know, we get some sales. So, sorry. I know the VIP series, I do more of a role play, and so between, you know, sometimes I get things mixed up. Well, a lot of times I get things mixed up, so. And I think we can sell the spreader that I have for 1,200. So that gets us to basically 11,200. So I need 3,000 or so. But just not sure if we're going to be able to do that. I think I'm coming in a little too much toward the location there. Let's go around the edge here. Alright, there we go. Like somewhere around here. Whoop, I don't know what I hit, but I hit something. Alright. So we got some canola. Hop over there. Let's see what we get. It's looking good. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I think we're gonna have a shot. 3,600. Alright, it's still there, but one thing is gone, so yeah, we're definitely running the risk. But I think if I get another load, which I'm going to be able to do, because that harvester, again, 7,500, and this thing only takes barely 3,000, so I'll get like 2.25 loads out of a full harvester now. That's pretty nice. Again, I can look eventually at expanding my trailer, but this is an expense that I could do without. I mean, I'm pulling this at 20 miles per hour. It doesn't take that long. Running a few extra trips and saving thousands and thousands of dollars would be good. So one of the other things that we may be able to do with this harvester is corn header is also only $7,000. Now it's smaller, obviously, as corn headers tend to be. So let me pick up my grain here. We'll talk when we get done. I realized while I do need to have the engine running, I don't need to have the header running. So that can quiet things down a bit, because obviously the engine wasn't too bad. You know, but the what I was saying is the corn header is 7,000 as well. So it's a 3-meter corn header. So it would take a little bit of time, but it might be fun to, you know, do some other type of crops. Now, then I think that would require a planter to go ahead and do that, but it's nice to know we have the option. So, something to consider. because the other thing I was thinking about, as I had the months and months of relaxation, just waiting to get to this day. I can't tell you how excited I am, especially if we're going to be able to pull this Amazon off, which I'm going to buy right away. If I have enough money, I'm going to take care of that. Let it sit here, we'll pick it up later, but I do not want to lose that. If I can get a 40% savings on that, that's real money. Because there was no way I was going to get to the $25,000, which is the full price on that with what I've got going on. So I was thinking, oh, I'll have to wait a bit. But if I can do that, because per the rules, I can buy things on sale, I just can't lease them. So this worked out wonderfully. And once we get above 15,000, there we go. I'm going to go make this purchase. Alright. There it is. I'm going to keep it warm for me. Or make sure nobody runs off with it, but still. Oh, that is great. And I'm going to go ahead and, in the meantime, in the process of all this, I'm going to go ahead and sell as well, but the old spreader, but I need to get the fertilizer out of it. I don't know why I suddenly jumped out of it. I thought I wasn't in the tractor. I'm way too excited about my new fertilizer spreader, because now two things have become easier, and while the harvester is loud, the ease of harvesting with it just completely takes away the dread of harvest time, which is really what I had. I did not enjoy that job on this farm. It was miserable, frankly. There's not a way to sugarcoat it. It's been one of the worst experiences I've had in Farming Simulator, I think. Hands down. But sometimes stuff like that happens with survival. But in any event, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this thing finished up. And I'll see in a bit after that's we get things wrapped up, so we can see where we're at and see what the end of our day looks like. Early afternoon. You might be like, well, it didn't save you a lot of time, but I sold my crop. I've gone ahead, I've picked up the fertilizer spreader, loaded it with fertilizer, so it's got 3,000 liters of fertilizer in there right now. So we'll be set for quite some time. The spreader I was using would not unload the fertilizer. It kept telling me not enough room to unload even when I was sitting in the parking lot by the shop. So I had to give up the 300 plus liters of fertilizer that were there. I debated just holding on to it, but at this point, in the grand scheme of things, I just wasn't sure that it made sense to deal with that later. So I've got a 4-meter cultivator. I now have an insane working with spreader. I can go up to 42 meters. I can obviously shrink that a bit, but don't know that I will. I may just get the field done in 2 passes. That would be great. And so my 2-meter seeder is right now the thing that's going to take the most amount of time as I work crops and so forth. So the other thing that I'm curious about is straw swath on this, because if you remember, the Ford was a disaster. I'm a little concerned because of the sound and so forth, but we didn't pay nothing for this. I mean, it was still a $40,000 harvester. Yeah, it's a little beat up, but it's survival. We do what we must, right? So my hope is we'll be good, because yeah, one of the things I'm thinking about is now we're getting to the point where, you know, we might be able to do some animals. We might be able to put in a small chicken coop and get some eggs and things going on. I don't know that I'd want to get any more involved yet on things, but good news is certainly the way today ran, we're starting to get tastes of that tipping point that happens whenever you're doing something in survival, where suddenly you've grown enough that you're starting to make some real money and you can make some real progress. So, you know, I need to do some investigating of chicken coops, things like that, and then seeders as well. As always, if folks have suggestions, always open to them. Take a look at things. Just a really, really great day. I mean, I was expecting a harvester, and I got so much more. I got a harvester, I got a spreader. We did 2 upgrades in one day, and more importantly, we had the money to do 2 upgrades in one day. Now, some of it was certainly luck in the Amazon being on sale, because if it was full price, we wouldn't have been able to afford it. So, or we would have just been able to afford it, but then we couldn't put any fertilizer in it, which wouldn't have done anything, because yeah, I think I had about 9,000 so in cash once I sold the fertilizer spreader and was getting ready to buy fertilizer. But so we might have just made it, but you know, now we made it with some cushion, and we've got, you know, almost $6,000 of fertilizer sitting inside that tool as well. I enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was more than today. It was many, many months while we sat and waited for our canola to grow. So I'll do some research in between, and in the meantime also figure out what's next on this field and what we're going to do. So I'll see you next time.